I felt like I was one of the few people who liked this $100 Nike set from the summer. I didn't think it was great, but I really liked the minifigure, and I didn't think the builds were bad. But LEGO revealed two new Nike sets, which released September 1st. The first, which is Slam Dunk, which I honestly think this is a terrible LEGO set. Look, I like when LEGO tries something new, and I'm not a basketball fan, I'm not a Nike fan, but there is a Nike basketball set that does things great later on in this video, and this is not that set. This feels very overpriced at $70, and this design does not work, and this is something that's supposed to be a display piece and isn't really a play piece, keep in mind, so the design is key. This basketball figure is a buildable style that I haven't seen before. This looks like a mix of the buildable Marvel bodies, which I really don't like those, and then the head of that terrible Hagrid and Harry motorcycle set from Harry Potter earlier this year. This strange art style almost gives me vibes of, and I saw this online, the corporate Memphis style. Yeah, that design that feels soulless that a lot of big corporations will use in their advertisements, at least from recent years. This is a posable figure in some ways, where you can see some ball joints, which the gray really bleeds through the design there. But at the end of the day, it's still fixed to this basketball hoop display. You can notice those awkward beams that connect the figure to the hoop base. It doesn't really work. Though I guess the build at the bottom for the sparkly base, not really rainbow, but like star dash build, whatever you want to call it, that works. I do like how that looks as a stand for the figure. I appreciate LEGO trying something new though. There's a nice level of customizability here, at least, where you could swap out these stickered pieces, which there's a ton of stickers in this set. So you could swap out parts of the jersey as well as parts of the pants and even the design on the shoes. And the hairstyle is customizable, where you can make them bold, or you can make them have a ponytail, or you can make them have a clean cut. It's weird that there's no net to the hoop design. I guess that existing piece just doesn't fit the size of the basketball in this set, but it looks awkward. And then with more stickers, there's the scoreboard design, which is also awkwardly fixed to the hoop design. And at the very bottom, you have an illustration of some people in the crowd, which I kind of like this design, where they use just circular tiles and that flat bottom circular top tile piece. That kind of works with illustrating like a far away crowd. But yeah, I just think this is not worth $70. I think the buildable figure, which is the main focal point of this, let's be honest, art piece, just doesn't look good. It's something that, again, is a new design from LEGO, and it just does not work for me. However, there's a much more interesting set, which is the Dunk Trickshot. And this reminds me of like an old LEGO NBA set, which I had this specific one. I think we reviewed on the channel. And it not only incorporates that basketball design with a minifigure, but also has a Nike shoe in here. Specifically the Nike Dunk in a classic red color. And I'll say this, I think the build for this shoe is better than the build in that $100 set. This just has, in my opinion, more interesting proportions. And I guess the lack of the opening feature from that big set actually helps in how this turned out as a display piece. With that being said, my favorite part is the minifigure. I absolutely love the drip on this minifigure. I mean, the torso and the hood hat combo, which is something we haven't gotten in a while. Like, it was used in Hidden Side quite a bit. Looks fantastic with the new printing. The Nike sign and everything on there, the Nike logo, is something that you could just use on a casual LEGO minifigure walking down the street. And I love that aspect of the set. There's a customizability where you have a more feminine looking face and a more masculine looking face, which I guess Chase McCain has some drip going on. And what's really awesome is that you get the unprinted head of the basketball guy from the large set, which is so much more usable than that headpiece from the large set, because this is just a usable basketball. I love the original basketball piece, don't get me wrong, but the fact that this has a hole at the bottom makes it easy for minifigures to hold it compared to that original piece. So yeah, while the minifigure is great in this set, like I said, I like the build too. I mean, the design for the shoe has those great proportions. The only part I don't like about this shoe is this side strap translation where you have the continuation of the Nike logo. That does look pretty awkward, and the logo translation there with the cutoff sticker just doesn't work perfectly. Other than that, everything looks great about this shoe. I don't love how the shoe has that connection at the bottom, and I wish LEGO did a better job concealing those Technic beams, but it does play into a feature where you could have this minifigure dunk into the basketball hoop, with some type of launching feature. So I get what they're doing there in the base of those beams. Beyond that, I really like the background design with the Nike logo as well as this design of a basketball, which both look like they're printed pieces, even though there are stickers in this set. I mean, I guess these could be stickers, just like cut really well. I'm not entirely sure. I love the muted colors they use there with that coral coloring, if I'm not mistaken, and that spring green coloring. It fits really well, if you ask me. If you're curious about the stickers of this set, yeah, the shoe is kind of filled with them. With that part we were talking about, with the side Nike logo, with the front Nike logo, it seems like we have basically the same build on the other side you can't see since you could remove the shoe. Then at the back, there's a sticker. And if you look at the court design, the top half is brick built and then the bottom half is covered with a sticker, but that blends together pretty seamlessly. And yeah, that court build came out fantastic if you ask me. I really do like how well they use those studs on top techniques. And then the actual basketball hoop is a nice build that again reminds me of those classic Lego basketball sets. You have that hoop design and everything there. Do notice that the back of this build looks pretty bad. So this is definitely a build you want to display from the front or just remove the shoe and display on its own. Yeah, in my opinion, this is a great set. And it's only $40, which I think is a fantastic price for everything included. Honestly, I would have put this on my fall most wanted list if it was revealed in time. So yeah, there's 3 different sets throughout this theme that are, I feel, so distinct from each other. Yeah, 2 of them are shoe builds, but they're just such different ways in capturing the shoe. Lego's kind of throwing stuff on the wall and seeing what sticks with this theme, it seems like, and I'm interested to see where this plays out in the future. I mean, I want them to give us real celebrity basketball players. Look, Aja Wilson is the spokesperson for this theme. It would be awesome to get a minifigure of her. Then there's the whole idea of them doing different types of Nike shoes. We've gotten these Dunk shoes that are replicated, but they should go into the world of Air Jordans. I mean, that would be so cool to get a build for that. And I feel like it would go sell like hotcakes. I used to be into Jordans in high school. Don't ask. I was a sneakerhead at one point, I swear. Then again, I know adding celebrities could open them up to a host of controversies just tied to, well, real people. The original NBA line had many problematic players. But let me know what you think of these sets in the comments below. Am I being too hard on that larger set, or am I justified in my criticism of it just looking bad? And do you think that $40 set is something you would pick up? I think Lego is sending me both of these, so we'll have an honest review of them if I get around to it. Subscribe here for more Lego news, commentary, and honest Lego takes, and I'll see you later. Peace out. Bye.